Some years ago, I got the question, can we make 50,000 personalized videos in one go? And I said yes. This is where FireOn started. And today we have over 2,000 customers worldwide. FireOn is built on the foundation of telling stories, with the same technology and spirit for innovation that created the most successful feature films in history. From a simple feed or an API, FireOn can produce unlimited number of videos in minutes. To date, we produce over 500,000 videos a month, and we're scaling.
Over the last decade, the market has seen tremendous tech development and growth. And moving forward from here, the next wave will be driven by AI and automation, totally transforming end industries like never before. Now our video automation platform has already begun to both reshape and disrupt the global advertising and content marketing industry.
Through our strategic partnerships, we have developed a robust business model and streamlined process, generating substantial value for all stakeholders. Our primary focus on marketplaces has shown very positive benefits and KPIs, giving us confidence that our solution will set a new standard in the market. As a result, we are well positioned to experience exponential growth for many years to come.
On top of this, we wanted to make it easy for our clients to increase sales through paid ads, with the possibility to push videos to any platform, any format, and fully automated.
We combine state-of-the-art AI models for background removal, object detection, object classification, image enhancements, and more, together with a highly optimized rendering stack. All this is running on an unlimited amount of horizontal scalable infrastructure. With automated voiceover, music, customized branding, and highlighted features, FireOn is a game changer.
FireOn is not just a video tool, it's the foundation of future storytelling.
Okay, good morning everyone and welcome to Automotive Management Live and our first session of the day, which will be looking at how artificial intelligence and automation is transforming automotive retail. It's sponsored by FireOn, as you've seen from the video. On your chair for the next half hour, I'm Steve Bryers, Group Editor of AM, Fleet News and Smart Transport at our parent company Bauer Media. Now, over the course of the next half hour, we'll have a presentation from Johan, and then there'll be an opportunity to ask some questions. I think Johan's looking for it to be quite interactive anyway, so you can ask questions during the course of his presentation. But artificial intelligence, when we talk to people about it, there's lots of positives, lots of negatives, but it's something that's affecting every industry and every walk of life. We think it's got the potential to transform how automotive retailers market their vehicles digitally. And this session will give you an overview of how automotive businesses are working smarter to take advantage of the latest AI technology that will help them to automate the sales processes, digital marketing and video content to ultimately help you to sell more cars. So without further ado, I will hand over to Johan Sundstrand, CEO and co-founder of FireOn. Johan.
Thank you. Is this going to work? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Lovely to be here. The first session of today. So I need to start off with this one, right? I made a statement a couple of months ago, and I said that AI will be able to sell cars by 2025. This was a pretty provocative statement. And over 800 million people, I mean that's quite a lot of people that read this statement. Over 400 publicists and magazines actually wrote about this. I mean I was in an interview each and every day for the first month, and I'm speaking at 4 or 5 events just in November alone about this subject based on this statement. So it's a pretty hot topic, right? So before we get into the presentation, I think I need to ask that question. So how many of you believe in that statement that AI will be able to sell cars by 2025? So raise your hand if you believe so. Oh shit, a lot of you. Okay. So the follow-up question then, I mean, it's around the corner, right? So how many of you have the knowledge or even the playbook how that it's going to work? Raise your hand. Oh shit. So none. So it's around the corner, but no one really knows how it's going to work. And to be completely honest, I don't know either. I mean, I have 40 people working on the product. Pretty decent AI developers, researchers. I do this all the time. I struggle to keep up with the pace. I mean, I really struggle. Exactly how it's going to work, I don't really know. There will probably be hundreds of different ways. It will be depending on what you sell and to what audience. I mean, what premium level you will be selling with. So it's exactly how it's going to work, I don't know. But the goal with this presentation today will not be about fire, and it will be try to at least inspire you to get started. I mean, the worst thing that could happen is that you end up reducing some manual tasks here, you speed up sales here, or yeah. So that's my goal today. And please ask questions if you want to. I will hopefully have some couple of minutes afterwards for more questions. So I will run through the presentation pretty quickly and then just shout if you have any questions about it. I did some last-minute changes. So we have to update the presentation very like 10 minutes ago. When I was flying in, I read his statement. I mean, it's the wild, wild west at the moment. I mean, startups are just popping up everywhere. I read it's like 200 new startups every week now within the space, building something on ChatGPT or like it's really the wild, wild west at the moment. And I read his study. It's not really a study. It was a Turing test. I don't know if many of you already participated in that test. It was over 1.5 million people participating in this test. And it was pretty simple. You had a conversation for 2 minutes, and then after 2 minutes, you were asked this one question. Did you have a conversation with a human or an AI bot? And as the headline says here, 32% couldn't tell. So already, 32% can't tell who we have a conversation with. So I had to Google more this morning. I didn't have time to update it, but another study said that no one will be able to tell who we have a conversation with by 2030, and not just for 2 minutes, for 2 hours. So meaning we don't know who we will be able to, oh no, we have no idea who's on the other line within 6 years. So I think the most common question that I receive from journalists, especially journalists, has been like, will sales rep and marketeers be out of job? Will all jobs be replaced? Absolutely not. I mean, the magic happens when the human creativity meets AI's efficiency. So we have this friend of us called Mats Levan, Swedish Levan. He's an author, he's a professor, he's a visionary within this space. We had an interview with him for a couple of weeks ago, over an hour, and we found this particularly 1 minute to be very interesting. And I think he explained this better than I do. So if we can play this video for like 50 seconds.
At the moment, I'm working on an article about how you can automate the marketing department in the company. And in the end, you're going to need humans. But what you notice when you talk to companies, marketing departments, since a decade or two, they are really working extremely much. They are solving tons of problems that the rest of the company thinks that always the marketing should solve that problem. So they are overloaded. And if they could get a piece of automation, the quality thing comes out of the fact that you're going to lower the stress level at the marketing department. And when people are less stressed, they've got more time for doing quality work. So that's also a way of increasing quality, giving people time to focus on the stuff that they're good at doing and taking away the load from stuff that is annoying.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I mean, before I ask this question, do we have any marketeers in this room? Yeah, have you read the job description? We're not generalists, we are specialists, and we can't do it all. So a bit of automation will be pretty good for us, I think. So do we have anyone in the leadership role, like in a management team in here, in this room? Okay, so a lot of you. So a question for just you. So if I could make this promise today, so I would promise you that all your employees, all your staff will be 40% better. They will perform 40% better, and they will also be 25% faster. If you just add 30 pounds to the total cost per employee. So for 30 pounds, you can get everyone 40% better and 25% faster. Would you take that? Yeah. So that was exactly what the outcome of a study from Harvard, together with Boston Consulting Group, came up with. So they gave ChatGPT to 1,000 consultants, and they performed 40% better and 25% faster for 30 pounds. And also the interesting part here was that the underachievers got the biggest boost. And that is, for me, running a company, that is super important. So 40% better and 25% faster for 30 pounds, that's unheard of, unheard of. Yeah? So that's the plus, the premium version, so you can get hold of the GPT-4. Yeah, so you use it as an assistant, more or less. I just love this. I'm not invented this one. I just did a copy paste of Fiverr advertising campaign. Fiverr is like a freelance tech company where they connect a software to a lot of freelancers, and everyone have been saying like, you will be out of business because now AI replaced all your freelancers. So they made this great campaign with, I mean, people like smiling and saying like, AI took my job, and then at the end it says to the next level. I just love this one. So a bit of a personal story about me and about us. I mean, we started off like 4 years ago. We believe that everything will be video and everything will be driven by AI and automation. And we started off by selling to everyone. So we had tons of e-com companies, from electronics to cosmetics, and we also had some real estate businesses coming in. And then we started to gain some traction with car dealers and automotive industry. But we were struggling so much to scale because, I mean, OpenAI has billions invested in the company, and to train a model needs a lot of training, gonna cost you a lot. So we had to focus on one product, meaning one product group. So we took a bet on the auto industry because we also saw that the auto industry would go through a transformation to become digital first. And this was during the COVID when everything was closing. So we were like, yeah, perfect. We will go all into the car dealer businesses. And I absolutely love cars. Used to do a lot of racing back in the days. But the auto industry is not really known for being an early adopter to things. So when we were talking about AI, automation, yada, yada, like, it was not the priority number one. Really not. Everyone was asking for a photo app. And we didn't have a photo app, so like, shit. So the investor put a lot of pressure on us. The other people in the management were like, is this really smart? The tech crash came, and we had like 40 people working on the product. I mean, AI developer is not cheap. We burned a lot of money, and the investor were like, you have six more months, then you need to release that photo app. So we're really struggling, and I got twins and an old family situation, running a company and twins, and like it was tough. It was really, really tough. And then ChatGPT came. So AI and automation were like top priority, and since then, like, AI really took our job to the next level based on ChatGPT. The whole subject of AI is a bit broad, so I like to break it down. this image is generated by Midjourney, so bear with me here. It's not perfect, but it's still I could do the presentation. I'm half dyslexic, so I actually did this presentation myself. I couldn't before. Before I needed help from everyone else. I like to break it down looking at AI as the cyborg or the centaur. I was pronouncing it centaur, and then Graham, like our UK manager, is like, no, centaur. Centaur, right? Okay, good. So the cyborg version of it, I don't know if you're familiar with a cyborg, but it's half human, half machine, or at least has some artificial parts. And this is like me creating the presentation. So I work seamless together with AI to create something or to accomplish something. And then you have the centaur version of using AI. This is where you like separate the tasks. And it could be, for a car dealer, it could be telling the AI to like go out and analyze the market for me, or analyze my inventory. And then I will go out and build a relationship that I'm so good at doing. So if you break it down like that, it's easier to understand how you can use it. And I'm going to do like 2 short use cases. Then we have a lot of more use cases, but I'm only here for a couple of more minutes. So 2 use cases. This is a use case. I cannot use the name here for the car dealer, but it's a Nordic car dealer, pretty big one. And they had this challenge that I think a lot of us have seen. We call it unscalable challenge, or I call it the unscalable challenge since I've created this presentation. And that is from the moment you have bought the car until it's published. So the whole content creation and distribution part of the ad, where you have to maintain the car, you have to check for scratches, you have to manage the photo session, the video session, upload to all of the platforms, write the description, the seller notes, all of these manual tasks in between. So this specific car dealer or car dealer group wanted to reduce time to market and eliminate a lot of manual tasks in between, but they struggle a lot to unify the brand because they had so many locations and brands they were marketing. So they wanted unifying these brands. So this is how it works from the moment they have bought the car and they have set the trade price. This is going to be launched like the 1st of January. Most of this already works, but it's just some tweaks to it. So I don't have the phone anymore, but they take the phone and they scan the VIN number. It's a manual task. They have connected the VIN number to a third party, which auto-populates with all the information about the car. So the specification list, the owner history, everything around it, like they have connected it to a third party. And then they use the same app and they manage the photo session. That is another manual task, so scan and have the photo session taken. That takes a couple of minutes because the apps are pretty good nowadays. And from there, AI conducts a car inspection. So the AI checks for because they want to be transparent. So they check for any scratches, imperfections, and they create some photos based on that. And then also the AI enhance all the imagery, removes the background, add whatever they want it to be look like at the end. And also not just for the website, but they have different setups for the marketplace. They actually have 3 different marketplaces. So they have different setups depending on what marketplace. They don't want to show the logos on the website, so it's a separate background. So it's actually 3 different backgrounds for one image. And then also instant videos are created and instant delivered to the website, to the marketplace, but also a YouTube channel because a lot of people are searching for cars on YouTube nowadays. And then there's also a large language model that writes the seller note based on the description list. So it's not just showcasing this has a BMW professional. It actually tells a story about how you can leverage or use the professional. It's very easy to work with a large language model like that. I mean, there's probably other startups offering that one. It's not us. And also a voiceover that also guides the buyer through the vehicle. And that voiceover is not just highlighting the specification, it's also trained on the OEM databases. So it's actually using, in this case, Volkswagen's own word when selling the car 2021. So it's pretty cool. and then it's published across all the platforms, and this takes 5 minutes. So the manual tasks that they do today is the only thing they do, they scan the VIN number and they take the photo, that's it, and everything else is automated. And the AI do a lot of things, but automation do also a lot of things there. So it's a combination between AI and automation. So this works seamless. It's just the car inspection that they're implementing at the moment, otherwise everything else is working already. And remember, this is a huge car dealer group in the Nordics, like the top 5. The other challenge that I'm going to show you a case around, and I'm not trying to sell Firon here. It's a way for me to guide you through a process, and at the end of this case, I will show you like 6 steps how you can kickstart AI in your business. And the most common questions that we receive on a daily basis from car dealers is like, how to reach more buyers outside the marketplace or earlier. I want to reach more buyers. And I mean, I also need to stand out because we're not just competing local anymore, we're competing on an international scale, and everything looks more or less the same. We have to say the same product, so I really want to stand out. I call it the digital arena challenge. This is where you compete. Okay, and we started to look at where are all the buyers. So obviously on social media somewhere. And if you gather like the Meta platforms with Instagram and Facebook, and you gather TikTok, which is quite hot nowadays, and you also gather YouTube, 82% of the time is spent on video. And almost no car dealers are communicating through video on social media. Only the brands, and they have these massive brand campaigns, like one brand at a time, one model at a time. So if you really want to reach new buyers, you can tap into the video, and then you will reach more buyers. So we went through all the touching points, all the formats that they were using, and then we chose to, okay, we need to use social media. And then also the obvious one, which ad do you look at? You recall 90% of the video, and you only recall 10% of the still. So if you really want people to remember your car and your brand, you really need to tap into video. And also, if you want to go into Meta, you will remember 90%, and you will watch 5 times longer at that ad. Meta just released a functionality for you as a car dealer to also now publish video through your inventory feed. It's on beta level at least, but I believe like half of you already have been invited to this one. It's like called product level video. Will be launched like the next couple of weeks for everyone. So look out for that. And when we have a lot of data, we have over 500,000 videos created, and we just trained for 6 months on all the social media platforms, all the videos, all the cars, and all the models in order to create the perfect pitch on all these platforms. And then we released the functionality where you can now display all the cars and all the social media instant and automated. And this is how you can break it down. So if you start to identify all the objectives, so this is super important because otherwise it will just be all over the place. So what is your goal here? Is it to start to just enhance your customer experience? Is it to increase its efficiency or just reduce costs? This is how we search for, we want to reach more buyers and stand out. So it's really about the customer experience. The next thing you need to do is like go through the whole process. This is what we did together with other suppliers for the car dealer group that I just showed you before. Review your whole process, pinpoint some time-consuming, and also the bottlenecks. I mean, just the proposal generation. I mean, I have some car dealers now. They spend hours on this one, and we spend hours creating one proposal. It takes us 2 seconds today to create one proposal. So review all of the bottlenecks, and then also quantify time, and also look at the business performance, because I've seen a lot of cases now that companies and people just jump into the space, try to automate things without thinking about the business performance part. So when you do this analysis, also check, I mean, if I could get rid of a few hours here, what that does mean in terms of revenue or in terms of reduced cost, etc. So really look into the business performance, because it's not always connected to manual tasks. And we saw here, if you can tap into new buyers with a higher engagement rate, that will mean more leads, obviously more deals. And then there are so many platforms, so many solutions out there, but there are also a decent amount of AI APIs, and we have seen a lot of you invest a lot in R&D, hiring your own staff for this. I think that's tremendous to do. I think you should do that. Research and try to find partners around one of the solutions. We decided to partner up with ad tech platforms, but also together with Meta, YouTube, and TikTok directly, in order to also not just create videos, but also to help buy the ads. And then the integration part, and I know you have a lot of platforms and a lot of solutions. We decided not to interact with anything, so just use the API. But just this is the toughest part, I believe, for you to just think about how they would tap into your system. And then scale small. I mean, it took us, we only launched it with 5 beta customers in 5 different markets for 3 months before we launched it. So launch small, and then really train your staff. Like the ChatGPT version with the Harvard study with Boston Consulting Group, they didn't do everything. They just focused on a few tasks. So at the end of it, I just want to summarize. It will be like trying to mount a car without robots. It will not work. So AI will not replace jobs. We will work seamless together with AI, and it will be like mounting cars. That's the conclusion. And I believe we have a lot of. Do we have a couple of minutes for
Yeah,
for
we absolutely
questions?
do. We have some time for questions.
Good, and we have a lot of more use cases. I mean, our stand is there, so if you have any questions about any use cases, any other idea, I will be here the whole day, and my team of 8 in the UK will be here the whole day. So ask us questions about use cases, and we're happy to give them.
We do have a roving mic. Thank you, Johan. That was
Good.
a really fascinating topic.
Yeah.
We have a roving mic. We've got a few minutes if anyone has any questions for Johan. Just pop your hand up. Don't be shy, because I know you must have questions. I mean, I was interested, is there other examples in some other industries that have really adopted AI and having great success, whereas within automotive it's still a relatively new area?
I think everyone is struggling. I mean, it's really the wild, wild west. I believe a lot of things like the turntables that we invested in, that is similar for the econ companies. I mean, creating a 2D to 3D, that's happening now, so the turntables will probably be out of business. Sorry if there's anyone here that invested in a turntable. You don't need them anymore, or you will not need them in 6 months from now. I mean, it's similar to the business. And I think for the auto industry, you will become a tech company, so things will move so fast, much more faster. I've been doing tech for my whole business, and things are moving so fast. I mean, I changed the presentation this morning. Yeah, so it will be similar for all businesses.
So any questions from the floor? Yep.
Yeah, shoot.
One at the front. There's a microphone on its way down.
That was brilliant. Presentation was great, thank you. It was more towards, you mentioned at the start, by 2025 AI will be able to sell a car. I really believe that is the case, but to what level you'll be able to sell a car? I think entry level used vehicles, AI can take over that, or certainly assist a lot more. However, in new car sales and things that are going into a more detailed sale as such, customization, etc., when do you think AI would be at that level to fully take an end-to-end sale, including potentially things like part exchange and the likes, finance agreements? Because right now I think AI could probably do a full sale of a used vehicle that has nothing else attached to it. When do you think it will mature to a point where it could be fully end-to-end and complex sales?
Yeah, I believe sooner than 2025. Yeah, I mean the full end-to-end. I believe AI will be able to do if we as humans can steer it and be involved in it. I totally believe it. This is actually also, if you look at the OEM, the agent model, this is their opportunity. I mean, they don't have the physical car dealershops, they don't have the relationship, so they are investing so much money into this. We also work with a couple of OEMs. I read the Swede Ola Källenius, which is the chairman of the board of Daimler. He just met with he met with Sam Altman, the founder of OpenAI. Yesterday he met with Mark Benioff at Salesforce. They have so much money, and they invest all of that money into this space in order to create a relationship, in order to utilize on the AI and automation. So I believe for the new car businesses, they will be using this in order to sell cars. So will probably happen before 2025, and definitely end-to-end, A to Z, yeah, definitely. It will be moving pretty fast.
Got time for one more question before we finish? Anyone want to ask it? Before to me. Manufacturers love to control everything that dealers do.
Yeah.
What kind of interest are they showing in this, and do you see them sort of mandating elements of AI?
Yeah, that's what I just said. I mean, they are investing so much into the space. We haven't really been focusing on that at all, but suddenly everyone is reaching out because of the whole process, building the relationship, using the voiceover, using the agreement service. They don't have the data yet. You have the data. They don't have the data. They don't have the first-party data yet. So they need to start build the data assets. So because you have the knowledge, you have the data, so you can do a lot with that data. I mean, just one thing that we saw another car dealer where they actually leverage on the data sets for the email automation part. So they create a voiceover like going through your whole buying history. They create a video where your name on the plate, I mean, driving into your forecourt, like. It could be so personalized nowadays if you use the right method, and that's what they will try to do now. But they don't have the data assets, so they really need to collaborate. But it will be moving very fast.
Okay, great. Well, we better call time because we've got another session that'll be starting shortly.
Thank you.
So please join me in thanking Johan Sundstrand for a fascinating presentation. As Johan said, you can catch him afterwards. The fire-on stand is just behind us, so you can go and see him on there as well.
Cool.
Enjoy the rest of the show.